Hey, thanks for tuning in. My name's Adam, and today we're going to design a little something. And that little something is an avocado. And we're actually going to design the avocado seed as well on the inside, so that's going to make this kind of interesting. So just like before, you need a pair of calipers. You could use a ruler too, it doesn't really matter. Or you could just copy my dimensions. Either way, you're going to be able to design it fine. You're going to need your free version of Fusion 360, the hobbyist version, and we'll go ahead and get started. So how we're going to design this is going to be two circles, and then we're going to connect those two circles with a little bit of a curve, and we're going to constrain those, and then we're going to do a little bit of a revolve, and then we're going to make the seed, and then add some color, and then that'll be our design for the day. So without further ado, let's jump right into Fusion. And we've got a nice blank untitled. We're gonna bring that origin in, orient ourselves to the front of the design page. Because on this one, we're gonna do it kind of like our last one. We're gonna design it from the front, looking at the front. And we're gonna check our units, always a good habit to do that. Inches, that's great. And then let's go ahead and save this. We're gonna call it the green egg. All right. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna click over here and say create sketch. We're gonna click on that front plane that we've got selected. Bring this down a little bit. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put in two circles. This upper circle and then this lower circle, just to kind of build out the shape a little bit. I'm not really too concerned about the dimensions yet. This lower one I will put on the origin just to make it simple for us. And then what I'm gonna do now is make sure that both of these circles are constrained to the center axis. And what that constraint will do is it'll prevent it from being able to be moved around the design plane. And it's always best practice to try and keep things constrained if you can. So what I'm going to do to constrain this is click that center one, and I'm going to click this coincident constraint, and then I'm just going to click this little blue line. That's that center axis that we're looking at. And you can see that changed this to a black dot instead of a white dot, and it gave us a little constraint icon there. So now if we go and we try and move this, we can't move it left or right, but we can move it up and down. So another thing that we're going to do is we're also going to throw in a line from the bottom of it to the top. And we're going to try and snap it as best we can to the center line and grab the bottom, and then come up here to the top of the circle, get it to snap in there, and that's what we're looking for. And now I'm going to take my calipers and we're going to check the overall height of our green egg. And we're looking at about 3.1 inches. So I'm going to hit D for my dimension tool, and we're going to dimension out this to 3.1. And you can see it moved the top circle, but not the bottom circle. And the reason for that is because the top circle was just constrained to the axis, and the bottom circle was constrained to the origin. So the bottom circle is not going to move. And this one you can kind of see, if we try and move it, it's just going to change the diameter. So what we're going to have to do is get the diameter for this lower circle. And let's see what we got. We're looking at about 2.6. Yeah, about a 2.6 for that lower diameter. So let's hit that D for dimension. We're going to click this outer circle, and excuse me, let me get out of there. it snapped to the upper circle, but we just want this outer circle. Let's try this again. There we go. We're looking at a 2.6. And then this upper circle, we're looking 2.1 and about a 2.1 as well. So I'm going to hit the D again for the dimension tool, grab that diameter, and 2.1. All right, so now these are pretty close to where they need to be. The only thing we need to do is, you can see there's a gap right here. If you just did a straight line from here to here, it wouldn't have that rounded shape. It would be more, it'd be closer to an egg, like an actual egg. So what we want to do is we want to make this a curve, and there is a tool we can use called the 3-point arc. So we're going to click up here, and we're going to click in just a general area for this curve. And what I want to do is take this, and you can see this is not constrained. So we need to make sure that we constrain that to this circle. And when you're working with curved lines, one constraint tool that works really well is this one called the tangent constraint. So we're going to click that, and we're going to click this top one, and then we're going to click this again, and then we're going to click this bottom one. And what that did is it constrained it to the curvature of those circles. So it just makes it a nice uniform curve going from one to the other. But you'll notice it's still blue. You can still move it, it's still unconstrained, so we need to get that constrained down. And what we can do is we can grab this point, this farthest end of it, and we'll use this coincident, and we'll constrain it to this axis down here. All right, so that changed it into a fully black constrained shape, and that is exactly what we want. And we're going to use our trusty Revolve tool that we've used before. So search REV, get that blue Revolve. And because we've got a lot of sketches going on, you could go back through and trim it up, and so that way it's a cleaner sketch. But for this instance, it's not too big of a deal because there's not that many. So I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to manually click all of these empty spaces that I want to use as my revolve. For the axis, we're going to do the center revolve. And for this one, it's at 180, and I'm actually going to keep it at 180 because what I want to do is be able to design the center, the seed, and I want you to be able to see it because it can look pretty cool. So I'm going to leave that and say okay. And what I'm going to do next is come over here and make sure I'm oriented straight onto the front. We'll click Create Sketch. You can either do it on this body part or on the plane. I'm just going to do it on the plane because that's right in the center of the outside of the avocado. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a circle, and we're just going to go right into the origin right down in here. And let's say 1.2. That's a nice even number. And same thing as before, we're going to throw a line down the middle. Make sure to snap onto the middle. Okay. And then we need to constrain that line. Hit enter, and then let's constrain one of these lower points to that axis. And now that is fully constrained. Let's go and search for the REV for the revolve, and we'll just click one of these sides. Click this center axis, and it's interesting, it turned red. That'd be kind of creepy if you opened an avocado and it had a red circle. But what we actually want to do, that's a cut function, so that would actually cut out as if you were scooping out the inside of the avocado. But what we want to do is we want to say new body. And right now it's still listed as 180, so we actually wouldn't be able to see it very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this to 360. so we'll get a nice full circle in there. So we're getting pretty close to the end of this design, and we are pretty much done with the origin. We can get that out of there. And now our metallic avocado needs a little bit of color. So I'm pressing A to bring in the appearances, and let's find some of these materials that we can use. Let's see. This looks like a good one, this powder coat. Bring it up into our little canvas area. Let's see. We'll bring in this one. And we'll bring in this one. So one of the cool things that you can do is I'm gonna change this to go to, let's see, it's on bodies. So what we'll do is we'll make the whole thing black for now. And let's change this around a little bit. Let's see. That's a very, very dark. If you look at this, it's kind of like a brown green. So let's find a nice brown green. It's starting to get a little bit green. Let's go. That's a nice brown. All right. And I changed it from bodies to faces because now we're gonna go in here. We're gonna change that one to green. But avocados on the inside are a little bit lighter than that. So let's go ahead and double click and open that up. Let's get a nice bright avocado. There we go. Nice bright green. It's almost yellow. Yeah, there we go. All right, and then this last one, let's go ahead and bring that in for the seed. And seeds on an avocado are usually typically kind of brown. Kind of like a darker brown. Let's try this out. That's pretty close. Bring it down. Hey, there we go. Kind of looks like a avocado seed. And let's make this a little bit darker so you can see the difference between that seed and the outside. And so now, as you look at this, it's got that nice powdered coat finish, almost like an avocado does. Let's see if we can see that closer. Yeah, that's an interesting texture on the outside. But as you can see, we've got an avocado. And if you wanted, you could hide that seed so you could see that in there. Hide the whole thing if you wanted. But that is pretty much our design for the day. So, I hope you enjoyed this video of designing an avocado. And I may just go eat this for a little snack here. But if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. I'm going to be doing some more videos. Drop a comment in the comment block of what you want me to design next. And we'll see if it's something that we can do. So I'm Adam. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day.